Roman Reigns' WWE title loss was scrapped. We'll talk about it. Plus, a new champion was crowned on Impact Wrestling, and a SmackDown star is out of action till next year. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Mate, I was there at Clash at the Castle when Austin Theory bombed down to the ring and got clobbered by Tyson Fury. The reaction was incredible. Oh, it was loud, it was proud, it was amazing. What an amazing night that was.
Fantastic night. I wasn't there.
Yeah, but you watched it.
Yeah, it was really good.
On the square.
I like the singer one.
You watched it on the square. It wasn't meant to go the way that it went in terms of Theory getting knocked out, not cashing in, and then Roman leaving with both the belts. There was a school of thought for a while. We were going to have a title change that night.
WrestleVotes talking to Give Me Sport, saying the only thing they could think of was with Austin Theory. He was going to somehow make it known that he was only cashing in for one of the belts. Therefore, it became a triple threat, and Tyson Fury stopped him like he did, and Drew would then take one of the titles. For whatever reason, that didn't work, and it sounds really convoluted. I don't know how you're going to pull it off for TV.
It would have been a bit messy to
I'm glad it didn't happen. I want to see somebody beat Roman clean for both belts. I think I saw a really, really great bit of fantasy booking. It was somebody on a live chat. And I think it is difficult to get both belts off of Roman, and then you need to split them up because we need two world titles on different brands, really. Yeah. But a really fun way of doing it was you book Roman in a ladder match. Let's just say it's Cody in there. You book Cody and Roman in a ladder match. They both climb at the same time. One grabs one grabs the other. They fall to the mat together, and they each get one. I thought that was a really clever way of doing it. And I can actually see them doing that.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. I do like that. How do you feel about doing the old WrestleMania 2000 triple threat compromise? Whereby you have the first fall for one belt, the second fall for another, and Roman's not involved in either pin.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Because then it's still a little bit unpredictable. He could still leave with one. I think that's quite a clever way of splitting them up. But to me, I think it is as easy as like a big baby face, like Cody, and I keep talking about Cody, like Cody winning, and then it's a valiant thing for a baby face to do, isn't it? To give one to the other brand.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you can only do that with a baby face. You can't do that with Roman, obviously.
I would rather them find a way, like with the ladder match, like a million other ways it's been predicted. I'd rather them split up the current belts that Roman has than make another belt again, because I feel like we just kind of keep multiplying world title belts. Sure. So I'd rather them get that one belt off Roman's shoulder and put it on.
That's the thing. The problem is, as soon as it's announced, even via that method there, as soon as it's announced that this is just for one belt, you know that Roman's probably losing it, right? So I'm glad those plans were scrapped.
Yeah. Let's talk Netflix a little bit. So there's a bit of a new mindset with what's going forward with that particular streaming platform that may affect plans for WWE and AEW in the near future. So the observers say that Netflix's decision to start buying up sports rights could affect WWE and AEW with negotiations for TV renewals next year. A quote from a Netflix insider said, quote, "Sports is the baseline now. We all know it, and finding the right properties, the right leagues is a priority, but it's always a question of the right league and the right deal." We've seen, I think, Amazon buying up Thursday Night Football in America. We've seen quite a few more like soccer matches over here.
So competitive, isn't it?
On Amazon as well.
On demand has grown to be an incredibly competitive field anyway, with film and TV, but sports is right now especially competitive. Huge money being thrown around. It makes sense if they can get the rights to this stuff. Would you suggest that we could see WWE heading over there? Do you think that's a possibility?
I mean, there's a relationship with WWE already. I mean, outside of WWE, Netflix has a little relationship with wrestling because of Lucha Underground, which they had on their platform. There was a great Jake Roberts documentary that was hosted on Netflix as well.
New Day thing?
Escape the Undertaker, which was a WWE product. The movie The Main Event, which was flipping awful, but it's a WWE movie. And who could forget the brilliant sitcom, The Big Show Show? You see, I don't know whether you picked it up on that sitcom, because it's really subtle. It's funny because he's tall.
Is he?
And that's the joke. It's funny because he's tall, and all the things.
I've met the bloke. Not that big.
But
Camera trickery. A lot of it. It's mirrors and lighting, honestly.
He's only 4'2", really. So there's a relationship with WWE and Netflix, and I think Nick Khan has also talked about different streaming platforms, and they're, as the WWE phrase is, we're open for business.
Oh man, there's more money to be made. We know that from the Peacock deal anyway, and if they can get on Netflix, and you know what, the fact that it appears on people's homepages is going to put more eyes on the product as well. I think it's a good thing. It's a shame the way the network has turned out, especially for those in the US, because it doesn't feel that it's a priority anymore. And I know the Peacock service isn't as good as the original network, but you're eliminating a huge amount of cost by selling the rights to a Netflix or a Peacock or something like that, because they're not paying for development, they're not paying for bandwidth, all these very, very expensive things. It's more profitable. That's why they've done it. I'm
enjoying using WWE Network for as long as we've got it. Yeah, I'm aware that we've been on borrowed time for a couple of years now with the WWE Network. So, but hey, speaking of streaming services, let's talk about the Impact Digital Media Championship. I'm still not a fan of that name, but I am a fan of the man that holds it now.
Say his name. He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. He's class, isn't he? He's class, and the right result as Joe Hendry gains the Impact Digital Media Championship. He had the match with Brian Myers. Seeing him pick up the belt, and I can't think of anybody better for that. Joe is super over at Impact right now, and it feels that title is a really, really great fit for him. He's very, very entertaining. It's good to see him on a major promotion again. Obviously, the Ring of Honor stuff ended, so he's a highlight of the show, isn't he?
Got to catch up with Joe Hendry when he was in Newcastle for North Wrestling recently, and he's having the time of his life at the moment.
Good.
I'm so happy for him. He
nice
gets
bloke.
to sort of bob back and forth to America and come back again, because obviously their taping schedule it works quite well for him, actually, because they do these block tapings, and then he can kind of still base himself here in the UK fairly as much as he can. And big love to Joe. Love Joe Hendry a lot. We're going to see, we always saw Matt Cardona get involved in this match, but Heath and Rhino stopped him, and we'll see major players in Heath and Rhino for the Impact Tag titles next Friday at Impact Overdrive. Also last night on Impact, Chelsea Green lost to Mickie James, and backstage she told her partner Deonna Purrazzo that she was, quote, going home. This fuels speculation from numerous sources that Chelsea Green is set to make a WWE return.
But Tom, she said she wasn't going back. She wouldn't lie to us.
That's right. She's like Bruno Sammartino.
She's just like Bruno
She's
Sammartino
just like
in
Bruno
every way.
Sammartino, and didn't want to go back. But yeah, so there's a few people who said they wouldn't.
SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine?
Legit. It wouldn't even surprise me. She'll be back sooner rather than later. I would expect her, to be honest, to be back ahead of Survivor Series. I can see her being in the War Games match, perhaps.
Wow.
Put her in there.
Yeah. It's all ties in quite nicely with the fact that right now Triple H is stockpiling TV-ready women, essentially. And boosting up the roster for that. And Chelsea Green, very much like they did have with Mia Yim, like they have with Emma, somebody else that can just get straight back on TV and pick up where they left off.
Yeah, you can just literally throw her on either brand and she'll be grand. And we didn't see enough from her, obviously. It was a stop-start, to say the least, with her time in WWE.
I think it was on your marks. Oh, hang on a minute. that was Chelsea Green's run on SmackDown. The timing of a possible Chelsea Green return comes at a time where we are losing a veteran from the SmackDown women's side, aren't we?
We are. Natalya. Obviously, she suffered that dislocated nose.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I think you just broke your nose. That means it's come off.
I think you can.
Like Fry in Futurama when he loses it.
She takes it off and puts it in a jar on her bedside.
She's going to be out of action for a minimum of 3 months, perhaps a little longer, according to Dave in the Wrestling Observer. So good luck to her next year.
She's one of those, and I know she's a bit of a figure of fun for some, but she's one of those that has been around for a long time and knows the business, and she's popped down to NXT on a handful of occasions and worked with some of the younger talent there. So I do think there is a strength to having Natalya on your roster. So I do wish her well and wish her a full and speedy recovery.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much. If you love SmackDown, we'd watch old SmackDowns on a weekend. Myself and Matthew Gregg do the Cultaholic Classic SmackDown review. You can listen to it on the Cultaholic podcast feed. We're currently in the midst of the Alliance and the Invasion storyline.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's a funny old time for all involved. DDP as a stalker, Booker T as Shane McMahon's sort of smaller brother. It's really odd.
I forgot about that that bit. Yeah.
I go off on one this week about that. But that's on the podcast feed exclusively, and you can watch it on the Patreon as well. The video version is at patreon.com/Cultaholic. You doing anything nice this weekend?
No, I've got no plans at all. I'm going to start my Christmas shopping.
Oh.
I wanted to get Peter Kay tickets for mum and dad, but spoiler, they're not watching. But I didn't know. Bloody O2 Priority, or whatever it's called, what was down all yesterday. Lots of people very upset about it. Well, Matt, he's going to add more dates. Have you seen the space? Are you doing anything?
I'm going to try to get some Peter Kay tickets as well.
Can I have them?
If not, I'm just going to stand in front of my mum and dad for Christmas and go, hey, do you remember things?
Oh, Tom shoots on Peter Kay.
It's the same, isn't it?
Oh, Tom.
Garlic COVID. Do you remember Zoom calls? That's your Peter Kay gig.
Phoenix Nights is one of the best sitcoms.
Never said it wasn't.
ever.
Do you remember Phoenix Nights?
All right.
Ever roller cola?
Ooh, just as you were starting to endear yourself to the viewers, Tom.
I know, right?
He's slagged off British institution.
Hey, at least I said it on camera. I didn't just record it on a voice note.
He's more of a Jim Davidson fan. Bit of Roy Chubby Brown. Loves him. Absolutely loves him.
On that note,
Do that joke you did earlier. Oh no, actually no, I get demonetised.
I'll send it you in a voice note. Don't publish it online. Look at you, David Walliams, you idiot. Stay safe and love you. Bye.